It's the time of year where I'm just gonna be unreasonably sweaty on camera. What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mamaloy, back with another video. And I want to start dropping some how-to videos for you guys on all the strongman implements to try and help you guys out that are looking to get into your first strongman competitions or to start training strongman in general. And for no other reason than I was literally just using this the other day, we're gonna start with the circus dumbbell. Now the cool thing about each of the strongman implements is there's a bunch of techniques you can use for each of them, and none is more right than the other. All that means is that while I'm going to teach you a way to do circus dumbbell today, does not mean it is the way to do circus dumbbell. Always be willing to experiment, always be willing to try out new techniques, and find out what suits you best. That being said, we'll jump right into it. Your setup for circus dumbbell starts with you standing over top of the implement, and while there is no perfect position here, you want the dumbbell to remain underneath of you for the same reason you set up your deadlifts to mid-foot. Lifting something that's out in front of your center of gravity sucks. From this position, we're taking a big breath and bracing before reaching down for the dumbbell, and this is just so we can take in as big a breath as possible, and we're avoiding bracing in that crunched up bottom position. Once you have your brace, you are reaching down with the hand you intend to press with, and squeezing tight on the handle. Your other hand is going to be placed second and is going to act as your support for your pressing arm. Circus dumbbell handles are fat and cumbersome, so you're probably not going to get your whole hand around the handle, and that's okay. Just squeeze in as tight as you possibly can and get as firm a grip as you possibly can. To initiate the clean, we're pulling out our lats like we would to get some upper back tightness on a deadlift. We're letting the dumbbell rock back slightly in between our legs, loading up the hamstrings, and then shooting up with the hips. The rock back is just to help us get some momentum going for the start of the movement, but take it easy with this. This isn't a kettlebell swing, and you're not a center snapping back the football to their QB. Keep the dumbbell as close to your body as possible on the ascent, and avoid letting it swing out in a big arch away from you. Once the dumbbell reaches your shoulder, you're moving your support hand to the front bell of the dumbbell, and this is gonna assist us for what comes next. I'm going to be teaching you guys the most standard issue rack position for circus dumbbell. There are a few others to choose from, but I'm not going to worry about them for this video. So once we're situated from our clean, we're going to be repositioning the dumbbell out to our side and setting a nice high elbow position. You're maintaining that support hand on the front bell the entire time to assist you with the repositioning. For the most part, however, you want the majority of the weight of the circus dumbbell to be maintained on your trap, and you want to take as much stress off of your arms as possible. Now, a crucial bit that often goes overlooked here is while I'm repositioning the dumbbell out to the side with my shoulder position, I'm also bumping the dumbbell at the same time to reposition where the circus dumbbell's edge rests on my forearm. This is a really subtle move, so try and watch this a few times to see what's kind of going on. What's happening with this bump is I'm repositioning the edge of the circus dumbbell, so it's going to have a better contact point between my forearm and the edge. It's going to be more perfectly balanced for the press, and it's going to be less likely to slide inwards on me as I go for the press. Since it's hard to see what's going on with the dumbbell in the way, imagine that my finger here is the center edge of the dumbbell. After the clean, it's really likely that your forearm and the center edge aren't going to be in line, and if you go to press like this, the dumbbell is likely to slip inwards on you and make the press way harder than it needs to be. What we're doing is bumping that circus dumbbell with our support hand so the center edge ends up lining up with our forearm, and we've got a way more stable contact point to press off of. The last thing we need to do before we talk about the press is just bump our hip out to the same side that the circus dumbbell's on, and all this is doing is bringing the circus dumbbell more over our center line. Not gonna lie, this position is awkward as hell, takes some getting used to, but it's far better to the alternative option of standing straight up and trying to press something that's out to the side of us. Only when we're ready to press will the support hand come off of the front end of the dumbbell, and it's just going straight out to the side of us to assist a little bit with balance. Now with all that set up, we're good to talk about the press portion of the event. And I really urge strongman to get out of the old habit of just using a standard issue push press for their overhead events. So here's what we're gonna do instead. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a dip and drive phase, same thing as your standard issue push press. We're gonna have a punch with the dumbbell, and then the thing that's gonna be different from our push press is we're gonna drop under and catch this dumbbell. Before I go for the press, I will tend to rebreathe and brace, but this is up to you, and it also kind of depends on how heavy the dumbbell is. Light enough circus dumbbell, you can breathe once and go through the whole motion. If it gets a bit heavier, you might be getting a bit lightheaded, and you just can take that rebreathe and brace in your rack position. For the dip and drive, knees are pushed out, traveling over our feet. Try not to let them come super far forward, and instead think sitting back, kind of like you're quarter squatting. As this is happening, you are maintaining your position with the dumbbell, and most importantly, maintaining your elbow positioning with the dumbbell. What'll happen a lot of times is as people go down to dip, their elbow position will crash, and as soon as that happens, your press is probably not gonna go well for you. So we're dipping, elbow positioning staying where it is, and we're driving up as explosively as possible. And the motion you wanna think about is you're punching with the circus dumbbell to your opposite shoulder. Always think punching over to the opposite shoulder with the press. The circus dumbbell is too big and too cumbersome that as soon as it gets outside of your center line, as soon as you kind of press it out into the side of you, the lift is going to fail. Now this last bit here is dropping underneath the circus dumbbell and catching it, as opposed to driving up with all of your energy and just doing a standard issue push press. What we're thinking here is throwing and catching the dumbbell. So after we've initiated that leg drive, we've punched the dumbbell. As it's in midair, we're dropping underneath and allowing our arm to fully extend. And from there, we're just stabilizing and standing up. This is kind of lifting sleight of hand. You're not actually pressing the dumbbell through the full range of motion. You're dropping underneath of it to let your arm lock out, stabilizing, and then standing up. And this is significantly easier than just trying to muscle the circus dumbbell through its full range of motion with your shoulder alone. Common misnomer is that you have to be able to do a push jerk to be able to drop underneath the dumbbell, and that's not true. You can drop underneath of this thing without moving your feet at all. If you want it to be a little bit quicker, that's when you go ahead and learn the push jerk, and that's when your feet will start to jump out and move, but you do not need to know the push jerk to be able to drop underneath an implement. And that's about it for the circus dumbbell, gang. Biggest tip I can give you is to focus in on this technique. This is not a movement you're gonna be able to muscle up, or at least muscle up the max amount of weight that you could possibly press. You really need to be on point with that initial setup with the rack position, and then you also really need to be on point with making sure you are pressing to that opposite shoulder. It's not getting out and away from you, and it's not kind of dipping in on you. Everything has to be on point, and that's when you're gonna press the most amount of weight possible for this movement. Okay, little extra tidbit here. This doesn't have to do with any technique stuff related to the circus dumbbell. I'm just gonna show you guys how to make this little kind of cast thing for the circus dumbbell press. The whole point of this is just to protect our forearm from the edge of the circus dumbbell. And you can be manly man all you want about this, but a lot of circus dumbbell edges aren't even rounded off, and it's just a sharp metal edge. So this will kind of help get rid of that pain, and you can focus in on your pressing. So all this is your first wrist wrap is going on like normal. And this one's just gonna be the one that gives you your wrist support. The second one is gonna protect us on our forearm. So depending on the thumb loop you've got, gangsters have a pretty nice thumb loop for this. You can kind of make a little tourniquet style thing here. And it's just so you can get your arm through and then wrap it around nice. If you don't have that style of thumb loop, a friend can help you out with this, or you can do it yourself. It's just a bit more frustrating is all. And there you go. You have a nice little cast for your circus dumbbell. So just a simple double wrap, that's all. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them down in the comment section below. Other than that, thanks so much for watching the video, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. Hope to see y'all in another one. I'll see you guys. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for watching the video. I just want to close out by saying I'm going to continue making these strongman implement videos. This is a sport I'd really like to see continue to grow. but I also understand that this is, you know, a smaller subset of the lifting community as a whole. So for those of you that maybe strongman's not your thing, what do you guys want to see on the channel? What content would you guys like to see me create in the future? Let me know down in the comment section below, and even you strongmen out there that are liking these videos, what other videos would you guys like to see? Let me know down below. See you guys.
All that means is holy fucking shit. All that means is so dangerous.